Today out on the farm, I've got a Smith Wesson 686 and 357 Magnum. Stick around. Now the Smith Wesson 686 is a stainless steel 357 Magnum. Some of them are chambered for 7, but this one is chambered for 6. All we're going to do today is shoot at a target I've got about 7 yards away with some very mild recoiling 38 Special 158 grain arms core full metal jackets. And then we're going to shoot sort of the opposite end of the spectrum. We got some Sig Sauer Elite Defense V Crown 125 grain jacketed hollow points. So you've got a light bullet going much faster, and then a heavy bullet in a different chambering 38 Special going much slower. And we're going to see how each of these rounds does on our 8-inch steel gong. But first, we're going to see how I shoot this. I've never shot it before. It's on loan to me. So we're going to shoot it at a paper plate target that I've got set up about 7 yards away and see where the point of aim is, or point of impact rather, is for the 38 Special and the 357 Magnum. So we're going to take first 3 shots, again with this arms core 158 grain 38 Special, full metal jackets. And then second 3 shot are going to be these Sig Sauer Elite Defense V Crown 125 grain jacketed hollow points. So let's load her up here. Again, when you're doing a mixed loading like this, take a look at which way these little scallop pieces are facing. That lets you know which way your cylinder is going to spin. I want to do the 38 Special first, so I'm going to line it up to where whenever I pull the hammer back, it spins into place. A lot of you guys already know this, but for those who don't. And all of these are going to be single action, just because I know this thing has a really sweet single action trigger. And I just want to see how I can shoot these different loadings here. All right. Looks like went way to the left. Oh, that one's right on. Okay, so I guess I just pulled that first one. The other 2 went right into my little target there. Now the next 3 are going to be 357 Magnum, and I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be much louder and have a much harder kick. Let's see. Shot low. Probably me pulling it. Yep. Kind of shot all over the place there, which you guys know I'm not the best handgun shooter anyway. But yeah, I think it's just me having to get used to that. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to take some shots now at the steel gong. Maybe I can hit it. As we can see, might be iffy. But what I'm looking for is just seeing the difference that a slow-moving heavy bullet makes versus a fast-moving light bullet on that steel gong. Let's give that a shot. All right, we've got the cylinder loaded the same way. 3 shots 38 Special, 3 shots 357 Magnum. And the gong is set up probably 15 yards away. I don't want to shoot it as close as I'm shooting paper. So let's see how we do. Starting again, 38 Special. Hit at the very bottom. Missed it altogether. All right, so that's 2 hits on there with 38 Special. Now let's see how we do with 357 Magnum. A little more kick in that one. Oh, another miss. Okay. Pretty neat. I don't know that it proves anything, but still pretty neat. Now just for fun, we're going to try double action with that 357 at the steel gong again at about 15 yards. Miss. Another miss. There we go. Was that 5 or 6? It was 5. Now coming in for a closer look, we can see that this is a 686 no dash, which puts the data manufacturer in the early to mid 80s. I want to say the dash ones came out after 86 or so. I could be wrong on that. Wood stocks. These two, and we'll just safety check again. Safety. These still had the hammer mounted firing pins. There still is a bar in there that keeps the firing pin from moving forward unless your finger's on the trigger. Here, I'll show you. Keep my finger on the trigger. You can see where the firing pin pokes out. When I take it off the trigger, hammer backs up. So even if you accidentally let go, look there, not going to happen. So a nice beefy 357 Magnum is really fun to shoot, especially with 38 specials. There was hardly any recoil that, you know, I could tell. Nothing excessive anyway, especially when you compare it to my 442, my alloy J-frame, you know. And then 357s, I mean, not bad at all, very manageable. I don't know that I would want to be walking around all the time with this. It's very, very heavy, especially when you compare it to like my Glock 19, which, I mean, you've got 16 rounds of 9mm in a light gun versus 6 rounds of 357 Magnum in a much heavier gun. I mean, I'm probably gonna lean to this, but this is a very, very cool revolver, especially if you're into revolvers. And shooting it at the range, very, very fun. Very nice way to spend the morning. Thanks for stopping by. If you haven't already, please do subscribe here and follow us on Instagram, where I post behind the scenes pictures and videos from shoots like this, as well as some cooking videos that don't make their way over to YouTube. It's at Yonder Oak, the same as the channel name here. Hope you do follow and subscribe to both. Thanks for stopping by.